Hello, my name is Daniel Kobian. This video is for the Principles of Sports Performance Training course here at Concordia University of Chicago. I want to talk about a couple of core exercises and their progressions and their importance of following a systematic approach. With me dealing with an athletic population, we constantly deal with younger athletes, athletes that have a younger training age. And with that, we typically observe insufficient core strength. And as they're moving along through functional movements, it reflects that by their lower half being unstable, whether it's a lunge where they're trying to stabilize and there's a little valgus movement there. It's shown, and we typically see them failing during basic core exercises. As we know, sufficient core strength is necessary for most movements, and we see that being exposed through their, first of all, their poor hip posture. Typically we see an anterior pelvic tilt that needs to be improved in order to transfer force from the ground up. As far as progressions go, we need to follow a systematic approach that ensures that each athlete is stabilizing efficiently before progressing to the next phase. Otherwise, we may just be retraining poor movement habits. So if we have an athlete comes in that needs to stabilize more through their core, we need to do so with the appropriate progressions. And a couple of movements that we have here today helps them establish that, guiding them throughout the whole process. To begin, these core exercises are designed to improve neuromuscular efficiency. Here with the pelvic holds, we're going to be implementing the drawing in maneuver. Each 5-second hold involves activation of the internal obliques, the transverse abdominis, the lumbar multifidus, the pelvic floor, to help flatten their back to the ground. This exercise also helps improve intervertebral stability by focusing on the local stabilization system. With each breath, we have them draw in their belly button to their spine, and we have them do an isometric hold for 5 seconds. Here, the next progression from the pelvic holds is the double leg lowers. Here, the back is utilizing the local stabilization muscles learned from the previous progression and continues to help keep the back flat in the ground during the more dynamic eccentric and concentric movements through a full range of motion. Here, the speed and load may be progressed with a weight placed either in the hands or onto the ankles through a light plate, and ankle weights anywhere from 3 to 5 pounds depending on their baseline levels of strength. Here, the next progression from the pelvic holds is the double leg lowers. Here, the back is utilizing the local stabilization muscles learned from the previous progression and continues to help keep the back flat in the ground during the more dynamic eccentric and concentric movements through a full range of motion. Here, the speed and load may be progressed with a weight placed either in the hands or onto the ankles through a light plate, and ankle weights anywhere from 3 to 5 pounds depending on their baseline levels of strength. Moving on to the power level, the double leg lowers may be progressed by pullover throw. This movement is intended to improve the rate of force production by the core musculature. This movement helps the athlete to stabilize and generate force dynamically in the sagittal plane. Next we have the core rotate resist along the cable. It will be used as a core stabilizing exercise. There will be no movement throughout the spine or pelvis as the athlete resists the load from rotating. The exercise will be held isometrically on both sides for a specific set of time. The focus here is to activate and stabilize the local stabilization musculature. Next, the trunk rotation is the next progression from the isometric hold. This movement will focus on eccentric and concentric strength movements along the load placed by the cable. Another area of focus is to generate strengthening movements along a full range of motion within the transverse plane. Finally, once the athlete has demonstrated proper control and strength, he may be progressed to a more power-generated movement. Here, the power cable chop involves power generation from the ground up in a proper kinematic sequence. It is important that the athlete takes his time in between each rep to ensure optimal rate of force development.